This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last class, we saw the basic idea on cloud, what we have, just a basic idea. It's like a demo kind of stuff what we had yesterday in the last class. So now let's move on to your, now what are the advantages and disadvantages of cloud. So can anybody tell me any advantages what you have? As per the last class you heard, right? So can anybody, what are the advantages of cloud now? At least 1 point.
Hi Sachin here.
Yeah, hi Sachin. Yeah.
Yeah, we can use it from our virtual machine from any part of the world, and it's a cost efficient,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't need to worry about our data because someone is taking care of it.
Exactly. Very good. So, as you said, the person is like, cost.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm turning to turn off my camera, like it's not turning off. Like, can you please help me with this?
I'm, you have opened your camera.
No, like my camera is off right now.
I don't see you in here.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. So you can mute yourself, guys who are not talking. But if you want to talk anything, yes, please go ahead. Okay. So yes, as Sachin mentioned, it's the first point is like cost effective in here. So how this is cost effective? So as I mentioned in the last class, so you can work in your remote machine. The first thing in here. So that is an advantage you have in here. Second thing is like when you're trying to create your virtual machine within your cloud level, so you have lot many configurations. You can go with lot many configurations. Suppose, okay, I want to create 4 GB of RAM in here. Yes, no problem. You will be it's available for us. Similarly, you saw like 8 GB of RAM, or like even you saw 32 GB of RAM in the last class. So all these are what? These are nothing but my different configurations are available within my cloud level. So once you create any configuration, as per any configuration, if you create any virtual machine, so every virtual machine, it will be costing you around like 2,000 rupees per month based upon the things what you chose in here. So for if you're 8 GB, then it may be around like, it's like around 3,500 rupees per month in here. Similarly, for 32 GB, if you saw yesterday, it's around like 25,000, around 25,000 per month in here, right? So this is like, if your application is tiny application, for example, my application tiny application, not really those many users are coming in here, not really like those many people are using my application here. In that scenario, is it really you required to go with such a huge application, so such a huge configuration here? Not really, not required at all. So if you think that not more than 10 people per day comes to, and access my application, in that scenario, why you give me such a huge RAM in here? Because this particular number really attracts you for sure. But what about my cost? What about my cost in here? So even you have to see this as well, right? So if it's not really required, just go for the smaller things what you want actually as per your requirement. Because what you do in here, what you create within your cloud level in here, everything is payable. I mean, everything is been charged. So you have to charge, you have to pay to the cloud over there. So make sure what you do, you have to go with your exact configuration, what you require actually. Don't unnecessarily go with your higher configuration, what you had like this. And then, okay, then how it has been cost effective in here. So you are saying some price and I'm paying the price for you, that's it. But is it like how it's been advantage for us? So as I told you yesterday, suppose you are trying to you have consumed, see, at the same thing. So I have 4 GB of RAM related configuration related to my virtual machine here, and it's costing me 2000 rupees per month, and I have consumed for just couple of hours. I created a virtual machine and with a 4 GB of RAM, and I have consumed for just 2 hours, and later on I lagged out. So in this scenario, still just by mistake I created this particular virtual machine, and later on I logged out immediately within 2 hours or 1 hour. So till I need to pay 2000 rupees per month? The answer is no. It's not required. It's not required. So you, since you're using your for a couple of hours, if it's 3 rupees per hour, because if it is 2000 rupees per month, then if you talk about the hours, it may be not more than 3 rupees for sure. And actually you saw that as well after creating your Windows virtual machine. So it showed us the last price, how much you can be charged per hour. It's almost 3 rupees, right? So 3 rupees per hour. So when you try to use for a couple of hours, then you have to pay just 6 rupees to cloud, not more than that. So that's the advantage you have in here. That's the benefit you have in here when you within your cloud level. So it's not like once you create a virtual machine of any configuration, you have to pay the whole amount. Not required at all. How much you consume, just pay for that. So this is exactly equal to your electricity bill, what you get every on monthly basis, every month in here. So nowadays it's a winter season. So winter season means what? It's very cool. So we generally do not go with your ACs, or some people maybe even stop your refrigerators as well. So all those things. So since you're not using all those things, what will happen now? Automatically my bill will be around like just 500 rupees per month, current situation, because you are just living only with your fan and like that's it, not more than that. But if it is a summer season, then obviously what will happen? You'll switch on your air conditioner, you switch on your refrigerator for sure, and you will go with your the air flow or something like that to keep yourself cool, all those things. So what happened now? You're trying to consume more electricity. When you're trying to consume more electricity, automatically what will happen? Your bill will also be increased now, increase per month. So if your consumption is less, then less bill. If the consumption is more, then more bill in here. Similar case here as well. If you're using for just couple of hours, pay 6 rupees. If you're using for or like 10 hours, then pay 30 rupees. For couple 20 hours, 60 rupees. So probably for a particular day, it's not more than 66 rupees in here. That's it. Per day, 66 rupees. That's how you have to go with, based on the consumption, how much you consume, how much time you work in your cloud level, you have to pay that amount to your cloud provider. Here it's Azure, Microsoft Azure. Okay, so that's the advantage they're trying to provide in you. So that's the reason it's a very cost effective. It's not like sometimes you for only single use you have to pay, you have to buy the whole product from in the market. So you once you brought the product to your home, you use it only for just once, and later is no more use. You keep it aside forever and ever. So but for that single use you have to pay the total amount for the particular product. But here it's not the case. So it's like a kind of rental purpose you're trying to take in here. So just for an hour basis, 2 hour basis, yes, you can use your things in here. You can run your things in a cloud level in a temporary basis as well. As I told you, just consume for 2 hours only, and later you can delete that. That's the advantage you have in here. Okay, any questions up to this level, guys? First point, cost effective. Okay, so let's move on to second point here. Like scalability. Have anybody heard about this word term, scalability? No one? Okay, no problem. So let me explain you with a small example, and it's a well-known example generally, which we already, I believe, everybody experienced that scenario in our lifetime. Okay, so I believe everybody had experience on IRCTC site. Yes or no, guys? Did you able to purchase your tickets earlier? Nowadays, you know,
Yes.
like a lot of people are sitting at, I mean, at home because due to this pandemic. But earlier we used to travel a lot, right? So this particular site you have, no, this is like a government related website where you can purchase your railway tickets. I mean, to travel in using, I mean, to travel from one source to another source or destination via train or by train in. So this track, you know, they have provided one concept called as your Tatkal. I hope everybody know that. So this Tatkal ticket is something like, you know, when you want to travel just before day. Tomorrow I want to travel, for example. I want a ticket. In general, you can get a ticket, but I don't want to simply get a waiting list ticket, or I don't want to go in a, you know, general compartment, but I want to sleep and go. I want a confirmed berth to sleep and travel. So that kind of scenarios generally, those kind of tickets will be sold out 3 months before prior to the journey. But what's the current situation you want? I want to travel tomorrow, so I did not book any ticket in advance, 3 months advance in here, but I want to book a ticket today and travel tomorrow. The same comforts what the people who already booked 3 months earlier. In that scenario, your railway ticket, you know, these people introduce the concept like Tatkal, where this will be available for just 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. I don't know how they're working as of now. Okay, so within these 2 hours, you know, like millions of customers will be there, passengers will be there within your India level who want to travel next day itself, and they want to have the same benefits as, you know, the people who already booked 3 months earlier. It's a confirmed berth, I want to sleep and go, and all those things. So within these 2 hours only they should try their luck, and the limits of seats are limited. The number of seats are limited, but the number of people who want to travel are very huge. The volume of number is very more. So now in this, so that doesn't mean what happened. Your railway people just provided this flexibility for only just couple of hours. So here there is a very first candidate who came into my website in here, and he is able to, since it's only one people in here, and your, you know, IRCTC website can easily go ahead and process the things, and all the things happen successfully. But slowly what happens, the number of people will be getting increased slowly, very quickly, not slowly, very quickly, because it's only having, you know, only just couple of hours to complete the process. So when these number of people are coming in also, it's okay, yeah, I can maintain my things in here. But if you have more people, if we have more people like this, then what is the scenario? So is it like your website is able to maintain these many requests in here or no? So generally things may get delayed. The last person who is trying to just logged in may or may not be able to open your website because your server is very busy with lot many requests in here. Did you had such a kind of experience earlier, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, so this happens. So now this is something like, you know, these many people are trying to get the request from only a single website engine, and you know, this is a very huge queue in here, so website will be very much busy with huge server, you know, the huge burden on the server. So sometimes, as I told you, you may be you're not able to open the initial page of website, even that much busy the server may be in generally due to the Tatkal times. So now in that, I don't want my impact my customers. So do we have any other way where I can book my ticket little bit easier? I mean, see, the number of tickets is limited. I may or may not get. But first of all, I should be able to access the website, right? I should be able to access my application first of all. If I'm not going to that part even, then how can I know how many tickets I have? How can is it like I'm able to book the ticket or not? I don't know anything. So those things have been impacted to the customers a lot. So what happened, you know, so such a kind of scenario, to maintain the to reduce the traffic, to reduce the number of requests in here, what I did, so I have created one more copy of my application and I put it in somewhere here. And what I have done is like I have diverted all these people who are here to this here. So this is like your within your railway station. This is like your ticket counter. Ticket counter 1, ticket counter 2. Earlier you have only one ticket counter. So where all the people used to stand and because the ticket is they have been selling the tickets in from one counter only. So the very last person maybe have to wait for very long time, maybe 1 hour sometimes to get the ticket in here. So to make it more quicker, the process, to get the things done earlier, what I did, I have opened one more counter so that few of the people jumps into my second counter. So now this particular person, the last person earlier who used to get within 1 hour, now he may get the ticket in just 30 minutes only because the traffic got reduced. The similar way here as well, when you're talking about application level, when I the log my in request up there, my website is down. So what I'll do automatically new more copy of the same application. I'll be having one more in here, and this also will be acting as a separate application. And what are the requests you are having? Those requests will be sent to my second thing in here. The similar case, if I'm having more people coming in, not a problem. I will try to create more things in here. I would try to create more things. So more, more counters can be open if the number of people are increasing, or more applications can be created. All these are nothing but my replica of my main website. This is my main website, main application. These are replicas of that particular main application here. And these people and the requests are being diverted or to my different application like this in here, so that everybody can access my application in a smoother manner. For that reason being, they're trying to do this one. So what they're trying to do here, generally you have one, but they are scaling up to 3 instances. 3 instances, they're scaling up to 3 instances. At the same time, once the Tatkal time is over, do you think that these many people will be still there accessing your website? No way. So once it's normal timing, automatically your things will be getting down and everybody can easily access your website, because you will not find those many people again, accessing the website even after Tatkal time. So what will happen now? Automatically things will be gone. So again, you can have the same old main application where you can access your things, a normal process what you want to go with. So scaling up and scaling down, drilling up and drilling down the things, drilling down your application based upon the requirement, can be easily done by your cloud, Azure in here. So Azure is so clever here. So based upon the number of multiple requests, you can scale up automatically based upon number of requests you have. Because even being a normal human being, what we do? So we can carry 1 kilo weight in one hand or 1 kilo weight in the other hand as well. Both you can walk flexibly. But if you keep on increasing your weight in your hands, were you able to move ahead? No, right? Because there is a lot of weight in my hand, so I cannot walk properly even. I can't have my one more step ahead even, because it's a very huge number of, there's very huge weight in my hands in here. So you'll be stopped there itself. So you can't move ahead. Similarly here as well, within your application level, every application has some kind of, the IOPS inside. Yesterday, somebody, I think, you already saw a kind of thing called as IOPS. IOPS nothing but its input operations per second, number of operations per second. So this is also one of the component when you're trying to create your virtual machine internally. So suppose here you are having, something like I can maximum go up to, for example, 1200. So 1200 requests per second can be handled. But if you're getting millions of customers per second, then how can I handle this one? I can't handle. For that reason being, scaling up. Try to create more. Try to have more things in here. Try to have more things in here. And once the work is done, go back down to my original status. No need to have any more all those things in here. Forget about that. So scaling up and scaling down based upon the requirement, based upon the scenarios we are into, all those things can be easily taken care by your Azure. That is the beauty of your advantage of your Azure cloud engine. Okay. So any questions, guys? with respect to scaling and scaling down?
No, Shyam, we are good.
Okay. So next is like we have, agility. Have you heard about this word agility? Agile methodology, agility. Okay, no problem. So earlier, generally, let's go with a small example. Like suppose I want to build a application. So I want to build my, I want to build a, like a messenger. This is what I want to build in here, messenger. So it's like, WhatsApp messenger you have a Telegram you have, right? Similar to that, I want to build a messenger. So once you're trying to build a messenger, what will do? You'd start with your developer. So developer starts, building the code in here so that he can complete the whole messenger. So how long does he may take to complete the code? So probably like 3 to 4 months of time, because messenger is not a small thing. Even though it's a small mobile application, it has lot many features inside that, right? So like you can add a person as a contact, you can remove it, you can block any person, you can add your display pic, you can call a single person, you can call group of person, you can avoid any people. So there are lot many things. You can chat, you can post. So there are lot many features available. So probably it may take 3 to 4 months of time to complete the whole development. But once the development is completed, who confirms that yes, your messenger is working well? That should be done by your testers. So testers from your client side, they'll be coming from your testers, and the clusters, what they'll do will start testing the code what you have developed. So this may take around, like, since it's a very huge code, they may take around like 1 month of time to complete the testing. So once the testing part is done, what next? Testers say that okay, confirm that yes, code is looking good and the results are as expected.
Deploy.
Deploy. Next is like deploy. Deploy the code, what you have done. So these are the three stages in general you find everywhere, correct? So now the scenario is like the development part is been started by your developers and they're trying to go with around 3 to 4 months of time in here. So when these people are developers are having the hard time in creating the messenger for 3 to 4 months in here, what about my testers and deployment team will do in here? So they do not have any work, because unless and until developer pass the code to my testers, they will not start testing the code. And it's developing, it's still in the developing stage only up for 3 to 4 months. What testers will do? Nothing. If nothing to test, what they have to confirm? Nothing. If nothing is there, then what you have to deploy? Nothing, right? So these two teams, they used to sit idle while the developers are trying to have the code developed into. So in such a scenario, client is not really happy. Why? Because only one team is working and other two teams are sitting idle, which is not really good for me. I don't want to pay to these two teams in here. At the same time, I cannot remove them. After 4 months of time, I cannot go into market and search for my testers. Okay, can you please come in and test it? I don't know whether I'm able to get a skilled tester or not. So I can't take any risk. But that reason being, they keep with them. But client is not really happy for paying the money for these two teams in here, which is sitting idle for 3 to 4 months of time in here. So after 3 to 4 months of time, they start testing in here for 1 month. What about my developers are doing and what about deployment team is doing in here? Again, sitting idle, these two teams in here. So similarly, when the deployment is going on, what about my these two teams are again doing in here? My testers and my developers, they are sitting idle again. So at a particular moment of time, only one team is working in here, but not all the three teams. So such kind of methodology earlier used to have in your IT level. So that's called as your waterfall methodology. This is called as your waterfall methodology. But client is not really happy with such kind of methodology. because only one team is working at a particular moment of time in here. So what client did is like, okay, do we have any scenario where I want all the three teams to be work together? I want all the team members to work together in here. Yes, Kalyan?
Agile method.
Yeah.
Agile.
Yeah, agile methodology. Yes, the other methodology they came up is called as your agile agile methodology. So what is this one? So this particular methodology, in this particular methodology, no one sits idle. All the three team people will start working in here. So let me go with a small example, how the things may happen in here. So think that we have a scenario. So here the same thing, I want to, or let me go with one more small example, like, within your Flipkart or Snapdeal, you can add your, or even in Amazon, you can add your products to the cart, and it's not necessary to buy them immediately. After a couple of days, you can come back, you can still see the products or items you save that will saved in the cart level, and you can proceed with your items from there onwards, right? So the same feature I want to implement for my application as well. So what I want to do, I want to save the like I want to add the items to the cart and purchase them later. This is what I want. Add the items to the cart and purchase them later. This is the total scenario I have. Where for this one, in generally they may take 3 to 4 months of time. As just an example. So what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to divide this particular whole one into two small chunks of pieces in here. Two small pieces in here. The first one is like what? At save the items which we have added to the cart. Save the items which we have added to the cart, the very first step. Second thing is like purchase the items which are available in the cart. Purchase the items which are available in the cart in here. So this is the second half of the thing what I want to go with. Okay. So now what I'm doing, the whole feed, the whole the user story, what the actual requirement, I have divided into two small things in here. First thing is like saving the items, and second thing is like purchasing the items or proceed with the purchase what you have already available in the cart in here. So now to have this particular feature to be implemented, what should I require in here more? So I may require, like a kind of your design one. So this is like a kind of a design one in here. Similarly to this one, I'll be having one more design to be completed, one more design to be completed. And similar case, to complete my second feature as well, I would like to have these many tasks in here. Okay, so these are my different things. So if you're trying to complete my first three, it means that if you're trying to complete my first three designs, it means that I have completed my first half of my work. If I complete my next three designs, it means that I have completed my second half of my work. If these two are completed, it means that my total requirement has been completed, right? That's the way. So you're trying to split your whole work into small pieces in here. So it's like, suppose you're trying to travel, you have a journey, you're trying to travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore or Hyderabad to Visakhapatnam, for example. So you have to plan in detail, okay, how you are traveling first of all. So how much fuel you need to have, how much fuel you need to fill in. So where do you stop in between for your lunch? Where do you stop in between for your dinner? So where do you have your snacks? So this is like an in detailed plan, step-by-step plan, so that you can implement and you can have your journey smooth and complete your journey successfully. Similarly here as well, to complete my whole requirement, I'm trying to have a in detailed plans in here for every part of my requirement in here. again to complete my design one, what I have, I'll be having my task one in here. So this is my task one. Similarly, I'll be having my task two. This is my task two in here. So these are the two tasks which are required to complete my design one. Similarly, for my second design, similarly for my third design. So this is the the very least granular things what you have with respect to your requirement, the least granular things what you have in here. So now what happens is like the very first task has been pulled out and your developer will start working on your first task in here. So the developer will go ahead and start working on your first task. So what he'll do, he'll try to write down the code in here. The code has been built by the developer in here, and finally, so once the code is done, the code will be moved. So how long does it the developer may take in here? So still he'll take 3 to 4 months of time, or he may take only just 2 to 3 days of time to complete my task one in here. How much time
Just
do you
2 to 3
think?
days.
Sorry.
2 to 3 days.
Exactly, just 2 to 3 days, because it's a very small piece when compared to my huge thing in here, right? So just 2 to 3 days of time only. So it doesn't take more than that. So once your work is done, once the coding is done, what I'll do, I'll push this particular code to my testers. So now my test within this 3 days of time, my testers start working on this particular code what you have developed for a small feature in here, task one. Meanwhile, does your developer sit idle? No, they'll start working on your develop task two in here. So again, developer comes into picture and they'll start writing the code. They'll pull the things from a developer and they start writing the code in here. So while the developer is writing the code for my task two, meanwhile, my testers may complete your testing of code for my task one. They may take 1 day of time, 2 days of time to complete the testing part. So after completing the testing part, they will hand over the task to my deployment team in here. Deployment team. So what this will do, that what are the code we confirm the testers, they try to pull from them and they try to deploy within your, for now it's a virtual machine thing, but generally it will go with the web applications, virtual machine. So once the testers hand over the things to my deployment team, these people will not sit idle. Meanwhile, the developer may complete your doing your task. So he will go and try to test. He will try to test the code which has been created by my task. So meanwhile, again, your task 3 comes into picture. So it's like, it's a complete cycle. So nobody will sit idle in here. After this cycle come done, go with next task. After this is done, go with next task. So keep on moving until you reach your last task in here. So that means once you complete all your tasks, it means you completed all your designs. Once you complete all your design, it means that you completed your features. Once 2 features are completed, that means you complete your whole requirement. That is the meaning of agile methodology. It's the meaning of agility in here. Okay. So the thing in here is like, every how much time, or I would say how much time they will try to take here to complete the task in here. For example, I have my developer working and tester working and deployment working in here. So all the 3 people are working in parallel, but how long you should take to complete this particular process in here until my deployment? So this is generally, they'll go with 2 weeks of time only. 2 weeks of time. That's it. Within 2 weeks, that means after removing, Saturdays, Sundays, mostly 10 days. Within this 10 days of time, I should complete the total process for my task one at any cost. I don't know what you do. It's a faster method. So faster process you have to go with. I don't know what you do. I have to complete for sure at any point of time, at any cost in here. So this 2 weeks of time is called as in real time, or in your agile methodology is called as sprint. So I'm in sprint 1. Next, this is what? This is my sprint 2. This is my sprint 2 in here. Similarly, this is sprint 3. Sometimes, if these two tasks are smaller, you can add two tasks even for sprint 4, sprint 3, or you can go with a sprint 4. This is sprint 4. So similarly, you can complete all your tasks with respect to sprint. One sprint, 2 weeks. Within this 2 weeks, after complete all the tasks which has been assigned for that particular sprint in here. Okay. So now, okay, I will complete for sure, but there should be someone to track your work set, right? Because if nobody is, nobody is running behind you, then generally, human tendency, we will not work. It's common. I'm not pointing to anybody in here, guys. I'm just giving you an examples, okay? It's common way. It's a human tendency. So there should be one person who's trying to track all our work set. So that person is called as, with respect to your agility method, agile methodology is called as your Scrum Master. So Scrum Master is the head to my agile methodology of what is happening in here. So this person will track each and every person. He'll pull each and every person who are working for the particular sprint. Okay, on the day one, hey developer, what's the status? So my status, I just analyzed the requirement. Yeah, I started developing the code. It's just 10%. Oh, that's great. Tomorrow, what is the development? How much is its status now? It's 60%. Day 3, 100% done. Very good. And I push my code to my testers. On day 4, testers, what's your process? What's your status? So it's keep on tracking each and every part in here. That's the advantage of having agility method. But at the same time, the process also very quick, very fast in here. So instead of deploying the whole code at a single point of time, they'll try to build your application with adding more features one after one. By within 2 weeks of time in here, sprint by sprint, they'll try to add more features, and finally they complete your whole requirement or whole application in here. So now, how this example is been as an advantage for our things in here within your cloud level. So see, for this particular tracking purpose, here you have in here. So you have multiple boards in outside. So like Jira, we have version 1. All these are nothing but these are kind of a boards. These are kind of boards where you can track the things. So how the boards looks like, I'll show you. See here. I'm trying to go with my Jira board examples, images. Yeah, see, this is how your board look like. Let me open a new tab. It's small, but anyway, this is the board in here, BOARD. And so see, if you see here, the first one, the red in color is one task, second task, third task, 4, 5, 6. Total I have 6 tasks in here. So I can see this is development. I don't think you can see it clearly, but it's a development in here. So second, third thing, you could push the things. So under development, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 tasks and development in here. So once the development is done, what you do is simply try to push this particular block by with the help of the mouse to my second block in here. So all these things will be done by your Scrum Master, because he is the one who's trying to track all the things in here. Okay, so we can add more things. If this is more better, I believe. So you can see a little bit better. Let me open this one. Yeah, this is very good, super. So this is your, see, these are nothing but my to-dos. To-do means what are the actual tasks we are trying to plan. This is it. All are to-dos. You have to plan. They're not started yet. They are yet to start. So this is a to-do in here. So once you start your sprint 1, then I try to move all the things in my in progress in here. So in progress means what does it mean? It means that you are under development part, or you are trying to do your testing part, whatever it is. See, now it's under in progress. I can say task 1, task 2, task 3. So there are a lot many things. Engage some shuttle lines to group tours. I think some travel related board. This is one, I believe. See, add to sprints, sprint, scrum. This is sprint in here. So once this is done, simply move this particular task to my second level. So you can left click on your mouse, hold it, drag and drop to my second code review in here. So it's like you can move the things from one box to another box easily. So such kind of things you have in here with respect to my things. So once it's been done, you can push all your things in here. It's like done. Okay, all these things have been deployed in here. So this is a kind of a board you have for Jira. Similarly, you have a lot many other tools available within your market level to track your work set for your agile methodology. But you don't require all those things. Why? Because we have a advantage in here is like we have a concept called as Azure boards. So this is this particular Azure is providing to have your the kind of Azure boards with us, which is trying to help us to do the similar kind of stuff, the same kind of stuff. So you no need to go outside of your box. So you can stay within your box, and you can track all the work say within your Azure level. That is the advantage. Agility means they're trying to track each and every work set using your concept called as Azure boards. So in order to understand what is the work set, why it's been getting tracked, how it's been getting tracked, we saw all this example in here. Understood? So I'll show you now the example of Azure board as well. See the similar kind of things. You don't find any big difference. So this is this is like a Azure board. See the boards. Let me open the tab again. Yeah. Yeah, very good. This is looking good. See, this is the Azure Devops board under boards. So the similar backlog, analyze, development. So you can see all the things in here. Each one is a kind of a task. You can go and drag and drop all the things in here. So stories are nothing but stories, or other things. Stories are features, or the requirements is called as stories in here in general. So when you are in agile methodology, they talk about stories. So this is one story, this is another story, this is a third story. So all this, each task will be spoken in the terms of stories. Okay, so that's how it happens in real time. The main thing in here is what I want to say is like you no need to go to any other things in here. Whatever you require, everything is available in your Azure level. So Azure is like a one kind of one-stop shop where it contains each and every every part of the application which is required to be implemented. That's the beauty of things here. Okay, so any questions on this Azure boards or agility method what you just saw, guys? This example. Okay, let's move ahead then.
So where do we use this Azure board? Where do we use with these Azure boards?
We'll be using the Azure board within your Azure level. That's what I said. So we'll be, you can create, as I told you last class, you can create your account in your Azure, and within the Azure, we have a component called as Azure Devops organization. And within the organization, we have to create a project, and then you can see Azure boards. Okay, I'll show you right away. One second.
Okay, okay.
It doesn't take much time, okay? Because it's you ask a question, it's better to show so that will be more flexible to understand. So I'm trying to go to my my account in here. I'm choosing my ID, my my password. So Azure DevOps organization. So I'll tell you all those things later on again, but for now let me go to creating until to I show you Azure boards. So this may take a little bit time to come up. So inside this one, I'm trying to create a project, because when you're trying to do any work in here, this is with respect to one project, right? For that reason being here, I'm trying to create a particular project in here, and I'm naming my project something, like something like my web applications. So here I can see my Scrum or Agile, both are the same things. So once you create a new project in here, automatically you should see now the same thing, Azure DevOps and your boards. So here you have to create your things in here. So Epic is nothing but the main feature. What you have, this is called as Epic. These two are called as your features. This is, it's like a total plan to, reach to my main end goal in here. So this plan is called as your backlog items, backlog product items in here. And under each backlog product items, I can see my task. Okay, so the same thing, see epic, features, product backlog items, and task. Your bugs, your impediment, and test cases for your testers, not for us. Okay, so by creating these things, you can track. So you can see your boards, you can see the sprints in here. So all those things we'll try to see more clearly. We'll have a separate class for this particular boards as well. Okay, so that is the thing, guys, with respect to my agility, and this is the advantage you have within your cloud level, so that you no need to go and learn any Jira board or any other things in here. So you can go and track your things within your Azure level. That is the benefit you have in here. So I believe everybody understood, or if not, any questions, guys?
Hello, Shrikant here.
Yes, Shrikant, yeah.
Actually, developer gets the tickets. I mean, stories, right? So, as a DevOps engineer, how will we work? Like user stories are come, or is there any
So
process?
generally, yeah. See, as I told you, once the developers start doing the things in here, finally it reaches to whom? DevOps, developer team,
Yes.
I mean, development team. So even this is a task for us, right? So it's not like so much time. So even for this particular tracked in here in the board level.
So we will work on the same story, right? Whatever the developer works on the story, so that same I mean the same story we are deploying the code, right?
Same ticket will be forwarded, because the same
Okay.
ticket has all the phases: deployment, development, testing, all the phases. So once the ticket is in your developer bucket, once the development is done, then we move to my testers bucket, the same ticket number. So once the testers is done, then move to my deployment bucket, which is we take care from there onwards.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Right then, guys, we have two more mainly like ready to use services. So that means we already had some kind of the things that you see here. So go home, I can see lot many things are available. So container registers are there, app services are there, storage accounts are there, Kubernetes services are there. So lot many things. Not only this one, we have 25 or 30 plus services are available within your Azure level in here. So they are all ready to use. So I mean ready to use in the sense they are ready with what kind of configuration you want. It doesn't take not more than 5 minutes to create a virtual machine. Yesterday, see how quickly we created it, not more than 2 minutes. If you know all the options, just click, click, click and done it. Deployment take more 2 minutes only. So overall, not more than 5 minutes you will complete the deployment. So quick in here. And these are ready to use services in here. And everything easily read already is there within here. So you can go ahead, use the options and try to create your own based upon your configuration and make it your things ready. That's the advantage in here. So ready to use services. Similarly, as I told you, quick deployments. So earlier, they used to take a lot much time to complete the deployment. At the same time, the deployment should be done only in the off business hours, off peak time. Because so suppose here I want to deploy a new thing. I want to add a new feature to my application. So what should I do? So is it like I need to stop my application and add my new feature and restart it? If I do that, number of people shall be using my application currently in the business hours, then all these people will be impacted. For example, let's take a nowadays everything has been digital cash like your phone pay or Google Pay. So if you stop my applications in main time like around in the morning 10 o'clock or and in the afternoon 3 o'clock due for deployment purpose, so think how many millions of customers will be impacted. So it's not really good. So what they used to do earlier is like they used to do the deployment in the late nights around 2 o'clock or 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, so that mostly like 1 or 2 people, not more than that, will be impacted. So such kind of things used to be earlier, but now please explain Microsoft Azure account once again. I'm come to that, but now the things have become so quick is like quick deployments is that even you do not know, even if the things will be done in your peak hours only, the business hours only, but still you do not know just oh, the account has been, the application has stopped for a few seconds. You can't even identify that. So quick the deployments are. Okay, for example, if you see here, so think that I have an application, small application I'm having in here, and inside that, think that these are the multiple features I have inside it. So this is a small application which contains your multiple features inside it. So this is an application where it contains 3 features inside it. So now what I want to do, I want to add more extra options for this particular feature in here. So in generally what they will not stop application. This application will be used by my, applications can be accessed by my, my end users for sure. So it's not a problem at all. So I don't want to impact my customers. So what they will do to update any application or update any feature, they take a copy of this. Let your main application run. They'll take a copy of this particular part, try to update whatever you want in here. So updated code. What are the things you have updated in here. So once the code is updated and everything is testing is done, the results are looking good, everything is done, then what they do, they replace this particular code with your main code in here. So replacing the code, the updated code with the main code, it doesn't take much time. They may hang this particular feature for 3 or 4, 1 or 2 minutes, because they are trying to update the code on the existing one. So this is the existing one. So once my everything is done in here, everything is done, all my main part are done in here, updating code, testing, everything is done, then they delete this and quickly they insert this one. So doing this particular new code coming into picture doesn't take not really more than 3 to 4 minutes of time. So only that 3 minutes of time maybe gets problem, but apart from that, nothing will happen in here, and this will be deleted forever because I have my updated code in here. That is how it happens, guys, in your real-time perspective. So you don't even know. Oh, so all of a sudden I can say new feature coming up in my mobile phone. Nowadays, the WhatsApp. When you click on your, the contact details of the people, the look and feel is totally changed when compared to others. Compared to earlier cases. So how it happened? When they did update it in here, I did not saw my WhatsApp has been stopped all of suddenly. Nothing, but still I can see my new features coming up because it's a quick deployments have been happening with respect to my, Azure level, the deployment parts in here. So that is the biggest advantage again you having in here. So all those things, your cost effective, your scalability, your agility, tracking your work set, your ready to use services, quick deployments, all these things really helps you in going to the cloud level. And there is the reason being people are looking more forward to move towards your cloud level. And yes, if you are having the things in a cloud level, as somebody, Sachin, I believe, said that we can work from anywhere within the world level. So I have my virtual machine cloud. So I can, it's not like I have to move my all the equipment, all the things in here. It's not required. From suppose you're in Hyderabad. From Hyderabad, open your laptop, connect to the internet, connect to my Azure cloud, do your work. If you're in Bangalore, open your laptop, connect to internet and work. So wherever you are, you can easily work because it's not here, it's not in a single, it's in a cloud level. So wherever you can go, anywhere, even then you can go to USA, wherever you go, you can go ahead and you connect to the cloud and you can work over there. That's the advantage also we have in here, right? So these are the advantages, guys. So I believe everybody understood the advantages of your cloud in here. Second thing, the other part of the things, if you have positive, you should also have negative things as well, right? So we have disadvantages as well. So the first thing is like, so what are disadvantages I'm trying to list in here? I don't really believe this is a disadvantages, but something like, if one movie get released, few people may like it, few people may not like it, right? So it's not like, we can satisfy all the people in here. They should, even the very blockbuster movie also, there'll be 1 or 2 people who doesn't like that. So I don't see that great things in the movie. I don't know why it becomes so hit. Some people may talk such a manner as well. So similar to that here as well, within a cloud level, we do have some kind of disadvantages, but it's not really, as per my opinion, it's not really, but based upon few people, these points what I'm trying to list in here comes under my disadvantages. The first thing is like your recurring cost. So this is recurring cost in the sense your Azure what is trying to do is like they're trying to generate the bill every month. It's like exact similar to your, as I told you, it's the electricity bill what you have in here. So every month what you try to consume, what you try to have, that based on the consumption your bill will be generated by your electricity department. Similar to that here as well, they are trying to, you have to pay to the cloud every month. For see my subscription I have, so I can show you my invoices, because I can show you the number of bills which have been generated every month. So what is the issue in here? The issue is nothing here, but few people think that paying the money to the cloud every month is a hectic part for us. So I don't want to pay the money every month. So is it possible? Can we have 6 months a time? 6 months once can I pay the bill, or yearly once can I pay the bill? So the people, like they are having a different. Each one will be having a different thinking. So generally, for Tata Sky or for Amazon Prime, so all these things, people, you can pay 6 months at once. Why? Because that is a standard cost you have in there. That is the standard cost you have in there. So if suppose it's 300 rupees per month, yes, for 6 months, it's 6 3s of 18. That's 1800 rupees you can pay at once, and you can use a subscription for 6 months, and you don't need to pay again and again for every month basis in here. But that's a standard one. But here is a standard? No, because based on the consumption, see that it's like around like July to September, I got 183 rupees in here, and this is this is a free trial period for me, so nothing has been charged in here. So I can see 183 rupees 1 month, 212 in 1 month, 156 again, 142, and this month I really use a lot, so that means a little bit more. So based upon the consumption, what you do, you can pay that. So you have to pay that particular part. So I can't provide you for 6 months once or 1 year once. If you're going with 1 year once, 6 months once, after utilizing my cloud for 6 months, if you suddenly absconded, then what can I do? What the cloud does? The whole business will be getting into loss in such a scenarios. So I will not take any risk. So I'll try to go with only 1 month at a time. If you're not paying that particular month, I will give you warning, and if not, again the things should be charged automatically from your card what you provide. But even that is not happening, then you'll be deactivated for sure. So they'll give you a lot of chances and money, you'll be deactivated. So to make the business happen successfully, they are trying to go with your monthly basis in here. But many people are asking you, can we have for 6 months, or can we have one year at least, so that we can have the things? And again, paying just altogether paying just 100 rupees, 183 rupees is okay. But after 6 months, after summing up all the things, it may be around like 1000 rupees. Do you like to pay 1000 rupees at the same time? It will be different, difficult for us, right? So 1000 rupees do I have to need to pay or not? Is it really necessary to pay this 1000 rupees? So you'll be under thinking, but paying 183 rupees, yeah, that's okay, I can pay easily. So even that is the mindset of the human people we have in here. Maybe probably even that, due to the reason being they're having a recurring cost in here. But based upon few people, we have made that under like disadvantage, but it's not really. It's really helping even you who are having your accounts, so that you can pay the amount at a regular point of time, and with the small amount only you can go with. If you're going with 6 months at the same time, the amount will be very huge. Individually for us like us, it's okay. But what about my enterprises level? Do you think they have only like this in here? No way. They'll be paying lakhs and lakhs to the clouds every month, because they maintain those many applications. They try to take those many services from cloud. So that's how it happens, guys. So it's always better to have a recurring cost, as per my opinion, but based upon few people, it's a disadvantage. So second thing, it's like security. Few people say that there is no security, or a few people they say like a lack of control. Security, or few people critically lack of control. So you know why? Because you're trying to provide a whole code, because cloud is saying that you go ahead and you try to install your things in its cloud system in here. So what the cloud said, cloud has its own virtual machine. Try to install all the tools in cloud virtual machine here. Cloud virtual machine. So you're trying to do everything which in your virtual machine, which is in cloud. So nothing there, nothing you can handle with from your local machine here. So everything you're trying to provide the things to cloud, and cloud is trying to handle the things for you. So you do not have any control over the things what you have in the cloud, because cloud is handling everything for you. Because that is the reason being you are asking the cloud, requesting the cloud to do the services on behalf of you. But still, if you think that I feel that there's some kind of security in here, insecure thing in here, there's maybe like some kind of control in here, that's meaningless. But few people may think so. Even in WhatsApp, right? So they'll keep on providing the messages saying that not even WhatsApp or some any other third party can read your messages or post your messages. Have you saw such kind of messages earlier, right, in WhatsApp, guys?
Yes, right. Because of the group admin.
Yeah, there's a generally they have some kind of messages, but at the same time, at the same time, like if any illegal thing happened, so they want to track the chat, they can pull the chat again. So how the things is happening in it, even so they some for some cases, I'm not pointing to anybody, guys, in here, just an example, which all really happens normally. In some cases, like a policeman can go and go to the WhatsApp, and they can get that chat even though you delete it in your mobile phone. So then how they're getting it? If they're saying that you're not able to read it, but how they're getting the things in here? So few people think that so insecure things are there happening with yes. I'm not sure. So generally what we think is not really correct. So everything is insecure with respect to WhatsApp or everything what we have in here, unless and until you do some illegal things within your account level. But generally it doesn't happen. As of now, nothing has been breached, such kind of things. Nothing has been reported as such things as of now. So everything is secure, guys. So don't worry about the things. So here, so few people may think such kind of things in here. Or for a few people while writing the emails, the Gmail, while in the Gmail, you can say, if I say thanks, automatically you can see thanks and regards, automatically that will be printed. So if you hit on enter, that will be printed automatically. So based upon the words I put in my email, they'll try to provide me more words. If I ask you, please find the, if I say please find the, automatically says that attached resume or attached file, automatically that those will be coming up when you're writing the emails. So what are these? Do you think like these people are reading the emails? Not really. So that's a kind of a program they have inside, where based upon the pattern, based upon the words you write down, you can get that particular words. Okay, so don't think that they're trying to read your emails, nothing like that. So everything is secured, everything has been secured in here, your WhatsApp, your Google, whatever it is, everything is secure. That is the reason being they're trying to run the business successfully these many days, or else they would have gone very long back, right? So that's the thing. So here security, a few people based upon things, they may feel that, but not really in here. And the last one we have, it's like a vendor logged in. So vendor logged in, you have one more disadvantage kind of things in here. But so what is this one? Is something here, for example, suppose like you have a data center, and think this is my data center in here, and I have my server available in here. This is my data center, and think these are my multiple servers in here. Let me delete these things. I think that this is my multiple servers are installed within my this particular server room in a data center. And being being end user, I'll go and I'll try to connect to one of my application and start working with things in here. So now all of a sudden what happened, like your data center is down due to some disaster happened on that particular area, or due to some cyclone, due to some floods, or due to some earthquake. So whatever the things happen, due to that reason being your data center is totally down. So what happened now? Automatically your connectivity will be lost. So you have been impacted. So due to that reason being, what we have, if anything happened to one data center, if you remember the stress class, I told you we'll be having a backup of my data center in here, which is located at again 150 to 250 kilometers in range. 150 to 250 kilometers in range, we have one more data center. This is exactly a replica of your applications what you're running in my data center one. Since this is down, automatically your connectivity will try to go to my data center 2 automatically. So why, how is this happening? This has been because it's been taken care by your Azure. This has been done by an automated process in here. So now your connection is going to what? To my data center 2 in here. So now, for example, think that, okay, this is my application. This is my server running in my data center one in here. So now think that, okay, my application is very small application, and if I don't want to run any backups. I don't want to have any backup in it. So delete from here. It's deleted from my data center 2. So your server and your application running only within my data center one in here. So in such a scenario, if anything happened to my data center one, everybody else will be having a backup and they will be having connectivity from data center 2. But what about you? You're gone. You're logged, right? You're logged with your Azure because the data center is down and you do not have any backup in any other data centers in here. Automatically, you're down. You're gone. So you're logged with you by the vendor. That means your vendor is whom? Your Azure, your AWS, your Google, whatever it is. You have been logged in by my vendor in here. Why? Because you have your application or server running in only one data center. You do not have any redundancy any other data center in here. But that doesn't mean once it's down, nobody will be having access to your application anymore. That's the only reason, that's the only issue I can find in here. So that is the reason being most of the applications what they do, they'll try to go with the backups. They'll try to handle what are the applications running in one data center, the same application will be running in my data center 2 as well in parallel to my primary data center, because I don't know when this will be down all of a sudden. So when this is down, immediately my data center 2 should come into active and it should process the things as per the client requirements in here. So most of the case, 99.999%, every application will be having their own backup, because I don't want to impact my customers like anything. But if you feel that I have no budget and my application is very small application, even though it's been down, not a problem for me, in that scenarios only you'll not go with backups. You will have your application only in one data center. That's the only thing you have in here. And after reading all the restrictions, reading all the policies and all the the rules and the regulations, after reading that, then you have to take a decision what you want to go with, because they clearly mentioned before itself, if you want to go of a backup, it would be secure for you, because something happened to the data center, then we are not responsible for that. If you agree with that, yes, not a problem, keep it in only one data center. If anything goes wrong, also not a problem for me, then it's okay. But in this scenario, what happened, even though it's okay here, you have been locked. I don't know when this data center will be up and running again in here. So in that scenario, people may think that this is the disadvantage in here. So you're logged in by my vendor, the cloud provider in here. So this is one of the disadvantage you may find. But again, at the same time, as I told you, everything has been clearly explained, and this is what you decided while creating your, virtual machine. For example, you see here, when I go with my VMs, creating of VMs in here, so it's clearly asked you, do you want to have redundancy or not? So if you do not want redundancy, then it's up to your choice. See here, availability options. No infrastructure redundancy required by default, but you have options as well. Yes, automatically distribute your VM across multiple fault domains, all Azure regions. Physically separate your resource within your Azure region in here. So you have options. Why, if you choose this one, then it is not responsible to log in here. It's you, the people who choose this option in here. So I don't think even this is your disadvantage, but somehow few people think there is a disadvantage. but so the reason being comes under disadvantage in here. So these are the main things, guys. Your downtime, your recurring cost, your lack of control, your vendor logged in, all those things comes under my disadvantages. So any questions, guys, up to this level?
Shyam, Kalyan here. So, do you have any advantage from other cloud for Azure? I mean, like AWS and Google. Like any advantage we have for Azure compared to those clouds?
Compared to the clouds, the differences I would say is, your Azure is, is flexible more on your SaaS kind of model. That's a software as a development. So uh, software as a structure,
Okay.
infrastructure. Yeah, IaaS, SaaS, PaaS we have, right?
Hmm.
Platform as a
Yes.
service, infrastructure service, and software as a service. So Azure has all the things what you can work for software as a service. The total each and pinpoint of things you can handle to Azure. But coming to my AWS is not software. It's a PaaS only mostly. So there's a little bit differences here and there. There's the reason being mostly most of the clients looking for your Azure rather than AWS. Earlier, I do agree your AWS is top, but now slowly getting down and your Azure is going up. All the things there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
sure. So on Monday, I'll try to go with your other things in like, what do you mean by SDLC or like, or what is application tires, what we have in here. So we'll try to choose, what is your SDLC and, what is like, what is the application tire, what different components you have in your application tires in the different models. And you can also talk about something like, models of clouds. Models of clouds, and you can talk also like types of clouds. So all these things are basic things. So we'll try to see one after one up to based upon the subject availability of the time what we have in here. Okay, that's it, guys, for today. So on Monday we'll start looking into the different other basic parts. Once this is done, then yes, I'll go with my account creation. Jyoti, I think you had asked me to please explain Microsoft Azure record creation. Yes, we do it, Jyoti. So that is a part of the things. So once your basic part is done, I'll explain you how can you create your Azure account. So what are things are required for Azure account. So how many kind of subscriptions we have for Azure account. So all those things we can clearly, understand clearly, know all the things about that, and then we start creating your account for sure. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, hi Shyam, this is Ravi Teja.
Yeah,
So,
right.
what is the level of code required in this Azure DevOps? I mean,
Code level,
yes,
yeah. So code level in generally in DevOps level, we do not write any code first thing. Okay, we
okay,
are DevOps means we try to pull the code from the developers and we try to deploy the code in a
configure.
most automated manner. So being a DevOps engineer, we do not write any code, but we will sit with the developers. We try to understand the code, all the things. So developer team will be different, the DevOps team will be different. So in that training
So,
session in here, we try to take your, the code. We already have some pre-built codes in here. So we'll try to take this particular code. So this is a .NET code example. This is .NET code. So because we are the single point of contact for all the applications for that particular client. So the client may maintain this application, one application in .NET, one application in Java, one in your PHP, one in your some other languages. So we, being a single person, we can't know all these things in here. So if you have knowledge in one development, at least one .NET or something else, that would be advantage. But in general, DevOps engineer will not write any code in here. Okay.
so even for the CI/CD for continuous integration of
CI/CD.
development.
No. CI/CD development, that is different. I'll teach you how can you create a CI/CD pipeline differently. That's different. That's not a code actually. That's a kind of a script we have in there. So we have a lot more different kind of components. I'll go from scratch level. What is that CI/CD? What is involved in the CI/CD? how to create a CI/CD pipelines. We'll talk about that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay then, guys. Today we'll meet back in on Monday again with on same time with more concept as I mentioned in here. Okay. If anybody has any questions or any feedback you want or any yesterday's class, demo class we just had regarding what is cloud with the basic example we had. If you want those videos, please reach out to Ravi. He can provide the things in here. Okay. Right then, guys. Thank you. Have a great day and happy weekend. And bye bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes. Bye.